Welcome home, Cojourners. I'm glad you're here for this episode. I'm Dr.Thema, licensed psychologist, ordained minister, and sacred artist, here to help facilitate your journey back home to yourself. And I am so glad that we have Allison Sowle with us here today. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Dr. Thema. This is absolutely just such a privilege and a pleasure to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Let me tell our Cojourners more about you. So Allison is a model and storyteller who's passionate about body positivity, self-acceptance, and navigating life transitions. Originally from a small Midwestern town, she moved to LA to pursue modeling and has worked to challenge fat phobia in the fashion industry while staying grounded in her own confidence and joy, which you all will experience immediately. Allison also shares her journey of embracing visible skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis, inspiring others to feel at home in their own bodies.
Absolutely.
Yes. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Dr. Thema. Thank you.
I love your courage to make the move out here to pursue your dream. So tell us what gave you the courage, the confidence to make that move.
Really, there's a few things. The privilege of being raised by the best people ever.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The privilege of having, the certain people around you and the faith that you're going to make it.
Yes.
But secondly, I'll be very frank with you. The other ladies who have done it, the other people who have come out here and done it, I'm like, I'm watching this one and this one, I'm watching them achieve it. And there's so much abundance and so much opportunity in the world. And so I thought, well, if they can and they're doing it and they're rock stars, they're finding their way. And nothing's perfect, obviously. It's life.
Right.
You got to have the ups and downs for a beautiful life. But just seeing anybody who comes out here just to follow their dreams, it's a space, as well as New York, any big city. It's a space to really explore yourself. And so, first of all, my amazing family and friends in my little Midwestern town.
Yes.
I love them.
That.
Love my hometown. But secondly, just seeing everybody else and the courage that everyone else has to show their journey and be vulnerable.
Right.
So to see that, it was really inspiring, and it's been in the works for a long time. I did a lot of back and forth.
Okay.
So, and then I finally made the for sure move. So,
Well, that's wisdom too, I'm sure, to get a feel of the lay of the land, to build up your confidence, build a network.
Yes.
But so important to have family or friends that believe in you, that encourage you, that support you, and then role models, as you said, like seeing that it's possible. Now, the fat phobia in the industry, did it show up in unique ways in LA, or you were already prepared for it or experienced in that reality?
I did, since I was 5 years old. I think that's a similar experience that a lot of people have. And it's not just women, it's every person, every human being. I think there is that fat phobia, and it crosses all genders. And in my small town versus LA, there's fat phobia abound. It is different in the modeling
industry. Already at age 5, though.
Age 5, I remember thinking to myself, and then the cereal diet where you eat, there was like a Special K cereal, you eat it 3 times a day, and that's the diet. I remember that from middle school. So I have childhood memories of the diet culture and the fat phobic. But again, going back to having that support system and people to kind of spring these feelings and ideas on, it's so important because we realize we're beautiful souls and beautiful light star seeds. Like we're just this gorgeous, amazing, and we're here in these, for lack of better terms, I call it skin suits. And we're all dealt with certain things because we're all unique and different, and that's a beautiful thing. And and to me, it has to be a beautiful thing, because if it's not that beautiful, amazing thing, then it's like, what else is it? And I very much I have a strong belief in that. And I think it's important, to name what's going on. And I'm always very much like, well, who's making these decisions? Like, I'm very like, well,
Who decided that this body is not acceptable? And I think there is such a very narrow idea of what is beautiful. And it is, you know, by design to keep so many people out, to keep people feeling insecure or unworthy, to buy a whole bunch of products so that you could try to be like somebody else, but always being second tier, if that is what is, you know, the premier. So I love when you talk about, you know, the diversity of beauties, right, that show up for us. And for those who have never heard the term, what is fat phobia?
So there is a Webster dictionary, fat phobia. I didn't memorize it.
That's
but
great.
To me, fat phobia is the societal idea that people who are not the Eurocentric, like westernized idea of thin, and it's the idea to just that, it's the idea that it's okay to treat others as less than.
Yes.
Because of their looks.
Yeah.
And fat phobia is just one fragment of ableism in going into that realm. And I have a Bachelor of Science degree in women's studies and gender and sexuality studies. So I'm remembering back to 2012 years and thinking to myself, you know, okay, I remember learning about this. And it's definitely carried into my adult life of how I view and why I'm saying, you know, who and what and when where.
Right.
So fat phobia, and, you know, like I said, there is a Webster dictionary, but my view is that my definition is the idea that it's okay to treat others as less than. And it's a fear of being categorized as something that is the other. Yeah. No matter, and it has to do with your appearance and has to do with the body. We never know. There could be somebody who's, you know, considered a low weight, that's very unhealthy, but we want, not we, because we we have
but
the choice to think other
message.
Yes, the society message.
That you are less than, inferior, not only in appearance but as a person, and so are less deserving. Absolutely. So before we get to it showing up in the modeling industry, how did it just show up as a girl growing up in your town?
Oh, I remember going on a school field trip horseback riding, and people were like, oh, she needs a bigger horse. Like, don't put her on that horse. And I'm okay, because I know that comes from their parents or their community, whatever their community is. I feel bad I pity them. I have compassion. My heart has grown in empathy and compassion so much and growing up, but even as a child, I remember thinking, you know, wow, that's so sad they confine themselves that way, because I remember being the happiest little girl, and it was really, you know, school kids, you know, the bully, even teachers, you know, even coaches of, just because I had a different type of body. I remember a coach telling me I couldn't wear tank tops to tennis, but to be very, you know, transparent, his daughter could wear tank tops to tennis because she had less of a curvaceous, you know, for lack of and so I was a child, and back then I was so innocent, really blessed and thankful to be so innocent in high school like that, and thinking, you know, why can't I wear a tank top when I'm playing tennis? You know, why? But then now, you know, and even in college, I was like, oh, okay, that's what that was. And that makes me sad too for him, that he was a grown man and felt, and by the way, I'm a very, I would consider myself a religious person. I go to church, and just to bring this up, he was our religion teacher, for tennis coach / religion teacher, for theology teacher in Catholic school. And so I had that kind of betrayal of like, this is just supposed to be a trusted adult, and just that comment saying, you know, I couldn't, and the uniform was a tank top. So it's so I had
the uniform.
And I have a picture. But now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, if I knew what I knew now, you know, things would be, but there's a lesson in that, because I had to go through that to be so strong in my, you know,
it's
convictions now.
I appreciate, like, as you're saying, like having a heart or compassion or being strong, but also like that you shouldn't have to, right? And that girls, or as you said, any body shouldn't experience, and the fact that it wasn't just showing up from kids, but also from adults, because adults are often, giving the message to the kids, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so would you say that it always, quote unquote, didn't bother you, or that you got to a place where it bothered you less?
I was raised to be very confident.
Yes. Yeah.
Very confident. But of course, I'm a human being. So of course it did hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Or when I went with my friends to the amusement park and I couldn't fit in the seat that closes, and I've experienced a lot traveling on airplanes, sometimes having to just ask for the belt extender or not be able to sit in the seat. And it's really because, the world isn't made to be convenient, and I think that we have to question it and choose to kind of live our lives to not only help others but also help ourselves to make it a little bit more convenient to live in. But definitely, growing up, I feel like I struggled a lot with knowing who I could talk to. My mom has always been super supportive. She is a fitness nut. She owned a gym, so I've always been a very fit. I like to walk. I just walked, 12 miles, last weekend, and I believe that there's this past weekend with my mom, and I believe that there is a movement now of women who are like, proclaiming we can be fit at any size. There's a lot of people who are speaking out about that now, and I love that because I agree. And I can't entertain any type of like fat phobic comments, and I get it all the time. Anytime I speak out about anything, whether it be animal rights or whatever I speak out on, the first response of whatever is on the other end of the screen, it's always usually a fat phobic comment, saying something,
how dare you, or not even about the topic you're talking about, right?
It goes to the fat phobia. And I just feel, I feel a lot of compassion for those people because they confine themselves to that mindset. And I refuse to. I'm very free, and I don't go to bed not liking myself, and I refuse to. And,
beautiful.
And I don't think anybody else should either.
Yes.
We all, deserve to have that freedom of going to bed and knowing that we're safe. We are loved. We are wrapped in community, and I believe in that. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I just refuse to entertain that.
It's like you all don't get to define me.
Yes.
The final say on who I am. Yes. So, the family helped to build your confidence. You came with this kind of inner strength.
Yes.
You mentioned your faith. Has that been a part of that strength or part of your love of yourself?
Absolutely. Yes. And I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I go to church every weekend, and I sing at church as well. And I raised singing in the church. That's where I got a lot of my practice and hours singing, and it's really a special place for me. And I feel like I was blessed to be raised in a Catholic community that was very inclusive and welcoming and very open. And I know not all fractions of Catholic communities are like that. There's just so many people in the world, and I respect everybody's beliefs. Mine just happened to be a little bit more, I hate to categorize it like this, but just more humane and more kind and empathetic, and I speak out about it, and I very much am strong in that. I feel like, every single human being on this earth has intrinsic value that needs to be like blossomed and given the tools and the opportunity to thrive. And just life is so short, and I'm very much a Whitney Houston, like children are our future singer in the car, like, very much that person. That's
And then tell us about the modeling. What's that been like?
Yes.
I love the singing.
Oh, thank you. I'm a theater girl.
Very good.
Yes, I'm a theater girl. Very big voice. I have to intentionally in my head, say, okay, it's okay to just have some silence sometimes. But yeah, modeling. I've always been in front of a camera. My mom has hundreds of hours of video and picture. Like that, I'm so blessed that way that I had that, and I'm always going back to that. But but I've always been comfortable in front of a camera. I thought, I did model in Kansas City. That's kind of like the biggest city near Leavenworth, where I was raised. I did some modeling in New York, but I do have a college degree. I spent 4 years college doing, a lot of schoolwork year round. And then I saw these inspirational women and men, but mostly the women in my kind of category of curve model is what the industry calls it. So, or what the general consensus is to call it. So, so I decided, I'm going to save up. I'm going to get security to be able to do this. I needed to get a new vehicle, and I did that and drove out from Kansas to Los Angeles, and very blessed to be arriving, to have arrived safe. And I moved in with the best girls, and they were all from Kansas too, and they've all lived here, and essentially, it was a big blessing. It felt like the universe very much aligned for me to come here
at this time.
Yes. And so being a freelance model when you don't have representation, I had the privilege to go out and say, hire me. Hi, hire me. Going door to door, asking people to take pictures of me so I could have some type of portfolio. And then I went to my first casting call when I moved here. Was in downtown Los Angeles for a brand called Good American. And they are just they are fantastic. They had an open casting. I stood out in line for almost 10 hours from 7 to 3 in the cold rain. And the whole time I just thought to myself, I'm blessed, like this rain, it's a blessing, because it was. I have legs to stand on. I have a water bottle, a bathroom to use in the facility. Everything's fine, and it's okay. And I kept telling that to other people. I know it's cold and it's raining, but this is a once in a lifetime thing in LA. It's cold and it's raining. So I was seen at 3:30. I came with no makeup. And again, it was pouring rain. And I walked in soaking wet. My hair was soaking wet, no makeup. And I had eczema a little bit more than what I have now on my face and my arms. And I went to the first judge that I saw, and her name's Jo, and she's amazing. She's the head of human resources, and I'm sure she has an even more advanced role there now. She's amazing. And so she had this quick 30-second question and answer with me. And I thought, I'm just going to be authentic. And I said, show up to things with your eczema. Show up to things looking, the way you look right now. And, don't try to cover it up because it's uncomfortable a little bit when I try to cover it up with makeup. So I thought, I'm just going to go, authentic and not try to cover it up, and and she really liked that. And I got an email a couple weeks later saying, hey, keep this a secret, but you're part of the good squad is what they call it. And it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, wow.
And it was 7 girls chosen out of 30,000 people, across the country.
Oh my goodness.
They had a girl come from Indiana, and I think at the time they believed I still lived in Kansas, but I'm not sure what it was, but I said, I'm here in Los Angeles, so, and it worked out, and it was the first open casting that I went to, and that kind of got my face out there more in this city, and, in this industry out here. And a couple months after that, after the campaign came out, I was signed by Coastal Management, and that's so helpful just to have such a great agency representation who cares about me and really has a passion for the plus size models and being inclusive in this industry, because I'm going to be very, I feel like I need to be transparent. There are people in this world that do not want that inclusivity. They actively wake up and go to meetings and say,
we don't want that.
And I've been really blessed to have the experiences of having casting people who have asked me, the casting directors have said, what more do you want to see in commercials, in print modeling, in the magazines, what more do you want to see? So there are really, curious people out there. There are people who want to learn. There's people who do want to be inclusive, and do want to welcome all. And I feel like it's important to really lean in to those people in this industry, because there are people that we need to, kind of help see that everybody is worthy of, every single person is worthy of that representation to see, because I know people personally who are changed by seeing the people who look like them in the Walmarts and the Targets, on the, in whatever you're shopping, whether it be a patio set furniture.
To see yourself reflected there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say, let's say, to those who are watching who maybe didn't grow up with the confident support system, and they may not even want to model. They may just say, like, I want to be comfortable in my body, or like you said, when I go to bed at night, I love myself. What would you say to them who are trying to get there?
Yes, I have a lot, but I'll be concise. Those people need to know that when they see people who, like me, who are just very confident, use that energy. Like, think of it as, the energy given to you in the world. I'm exuding this energy. I want to share this energy with people. That's my mental intention. That's what my atoms are saying.
Yes.
And I want people to be inspired. And so use that. And if that's difficult, there's many avenues. People who have obstacles, like, let's say their family's not supportive, like you said, or they feel like they're stuck. There's a way every single day to just improve a little bit. If not for, anybody else, I would say do it for yourself. And if you don't feel worthy, I've been there where you're thinking, especially with eczema and psoriasis, there's been times where my whole body from head to toe has been covered in oozing, wilting. Just an illness. It's essentially, making me bedridden. And that's happened in my life. And at that time, I didn't want to be, around in this skin suit. I didn't want to be in this body. And so I had to really tell myself, I'm worth having that peace. I'm worth it. And I'm a big affirmations person. And I even sometimes I look in the mirror, sometimes I just say it when I'm driving or when I'm putting on my makeup or whatever it is. I am safe. I am well. I'm high. I'm marching towards my highest alignment. Like, I'm going towards what I want, and there's always going to be a sunny day coming. It's very much a forward motion. And I would say to people, reflect on how I've healed is taking responsibility for my mistakes and taking responsibility for my, my troubles, and taking responsibility is freedom, and that self-accountability is freedom. And I do feel like some people just need to hear that, because some people don't even know. They're like, wait, I have the power to change. I have the power to choose. Yes, you do have the power to choose, and you don't have to listen to any of these, like, I have so many people that pick apart their bodies. They look at their bodies, and it's easier for me just to ignore it and then have freedom and know that I'm healthy and I feel good and I wake up and I can do jumping jacks and I breathe in the sun, and it might seem a little bit silly to some people, because I have friends that think it's silly.
But it feels like living in gratitude and embracing empowerment.
Yes.
And so I want to read this poem. I usually start with a poem, but today we're going to, This is by Holly Holden, and it's untitled, but this is really on the theme that we've been talking about. Today, I asked my body what she needed, which is a big deal, considering my journey of not really asking that much. I thought she might need more water, or protein, or greens, or yoga, or supplements, or movement. But as I stood in the shower, reflecting on her stretch marks, her roundness where I would like flatness, her softness where I would like firmness, all those conditioned wishes that form a bundle of never quite rightness. She whispered very gently, could you just love me like this? Yes.
Lovely.
Yes.
That's exactly the point.
Right.
Because it's a choice to love. And that's such a blessing to have that choice. Like, I keep going back to that, the choices. It's empowering.
Yes. To make that choice.
Yes.
To love yourself as is, to embrace yourself as is.
No change necessary.
Yeah, no change necessary. And for those of us who aren't models, when you're out there doing your thing, like, what are you thinking?
And on set, yeah. Just that I'm fabulous and I'm selling, whatever I'm modeling, and to stand up straight, to picture something just chest up and
we're getting all the tips.
Yes.
Modeling tips.
Yes. Chest up. Definitely moving, like just having fun with it. You can kind of lean and put one weight on one leg and the other leg.
Yes.
Very, it's fun. It's fun for me. And the nice thing about the modeling is it's a collaborative effort with a whole team.
Yeah.
There's the lighting team, there's the camera, there's the sound, if it does have sound in the project, and it's fun to be collaborative with the team, and usually they do review the photos and say, okay, we need some more of this or this, but sometimes it's just like, oh, perfect, we got it.
Right.
It just depends on the project.
Yeah.
It's really a creative endeavor too. And so just, I think in life, to just think of it as kind of a creative endeavor where you're in constant curiosity and wonder. The childlike wonder keeps me very high-spirited. And I think some people don't have that because of the traumas, we all have our own traumas and everything. And it's just choosing, again, coming back to that choice of being free, and there's always going to be struggles. And it's a really vulnerable thing to talk about because everybody is so unique in their own experience. But yeah, yes.
But to be fabulous, to know you are fabulous, to have fun, to be your body, head up, chest open.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
smile.
That's it.
That beautiful smile.
Oh, I love that. We know we were getting little modeling tips today, you all. Thank you so much for being with us.
Dr.Thema.
This was incredible.
It was absolutely such a blessing. I hope to see you again, and I know that I'll definitely be in touch. And it's just so exciting and such a blessing that I was even in your presence and able to have some of your time today. So thank you.
Thank you. And those pathways that helped you to get here, of supportive family, being a creative, an artist, having your faith, and refusing to let other people define you. I think those are all things we can grab hold of. So I invite your soul to tell your heart, mind, body, and spirit, welcome home. Welcome home.
Yes, welcome home.